Good evening, and you're very welcome to Clahon here on the Childers Road. It is the Bon Secours Hospital's Limerick Senior Hurling Championship. It is Group 1, Round 1 meeting of defending champions Piarsaigh and the challengers to the throne, that of course Patrickswell. It is, as you can see, just from the background there, a very, very wet evening all of a sudden here in Limerick City, and the umbrellas very much needed here before this one. Both sides going through their final paces here, and it'll be a very, very difficult evening's hurling that lies away. The breaking team news is that William O'Donoghue misses out for Piarsaigh. We'll take a look at the Piarsaigh team in full now, which shows some interesting switches from the team that won last season's county final. The first of those, of course, Shane Dowling starts in goals for the Carradavin side. Emmett McAvoy, Mike Casey and Cathal King make up the full back line. Mike Foley, Ronan Lynch and Vince Harrington are at half back. JJ Carey now joins Wayne Kearns in midfield. Conor Boylan, Keith Dempsey and Kevin Downs, a very interesting half forward line. Inside sees the evergreen Adrian Breen, Will Henn and Limerick superstar Peter Casey for Piarsaigh. I'll come to Jack Neville, who is alongside me for this one. I'll come to him in a moment to look at that Piarsaigh side, but we will see exactly where JJ Carey lines up. But William O'Donoghue, a most notable loss, and most worth noting that Mike Casey now captains the Piarsaigh side after O'Donoghue had a couple of years with the honour of captaining the club. Looking at the Patrickswell side, which they are now captained by another one of the Limerick stars, at Aaron Gallant, so the two captains look like they'll be marking each other. The Patrickswell side sees Jason Gallant, the younger brother of Aaron, in goals. James Carrick, John Flynn and Kelvin Lynch the full back line. Mark Carmody and Dermot Burns are in the half back line, which is completed by new transfer in Cian Fitzgerald. Cian Lynch and Patrick Kirby make up a formidable looking duo in midfield. Jordan Higgins, Jack Gallagher and Kevin O'Brien are the half forward line, and Calvin Carroll joins Tom O'Brien and Aaron Gallant in the inside forward line. Coming to Jack, the weather took a turn there 5 or 10 minutes ago. You're wearing the shorts. It's the season for shorts, but it's not the night for it with the weather we're having. It's a torturous enough evening.
Yeah, the weather is a bit of a pity, but it seemed to be a bit hard there when we came on, Tom, but it seems to be easing off a small bit. We were out in the golf course there for a few hours at the Ballysteen Golf Classic, so I must give that a plug, and it was dry, thank God. We're in out of the elements. Johnny Upton on the camera is getting the full effects of it, but look, if there was two teams in Limerick that have to play in the rain, you'd want these two teams. Obviously the standard, you talk through the teams there. It's a pity William won't be playing, but JJ Carey is one player that I would have seen playing with Ardscoil Rish. Obviously played with the intermediates last year as well. They're flying it in the Premier Intermediate. So Piarsaigh are a team on the rise there. Probably the only team in Limerick that could deal with the loss of William O'Donoghue and probably not feel the effects of it. But William is probably up there with some of his clubmates. Dave Dempsey, probably arguably the most consistent player in the county championship over the last few years. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously Cian Lynch has played at 11 more so for Limerick, but Will missing from the middle. Will that see an effect on the Patrickswell team? Will we see Cian stay in midfield, roam between 11? That was probably a battle that we would have looked at first and foremost before the game started. So it's an interesting subplot. You'd still probably have Piarsaigh as slight favourites, but William O'Donoghue's loss is massive, and it'll be very interesting to see. He's obviously a huge leader for Limerick. That's treble-fold for Piarsaigh. So it'll boost Patrickswell. They'll probably see that William isn't there. He's in a boot at the moment. We don't know how serious the injury is. It could be just precautionary. But when Patrickswell line out and see that William isn't in the middle, it'll give them a boost. And it'll be interesting to see how the game starts, because Piarsaigh have dominated this fixture, barring the 2019 final, and they did the same last year in the semi-final, pretty comfortable in that semi-final. So Patrickswell want to lay down a marker, and the loss of William O'Donoghue probably will lend a hand to that a small bit, but still thinking the Piarsaigh are the team to beat this year in the championship.
Yes, just seeing Shane O'Neill from our vantage point taking up his berth. No dugouts here, so it's going to be a wet one for Shane and co. Shane O'Neill returning to the dugout, for which he had so much success during his 4 seasons in charge, including an All-Ireland club title. They all got to another final, defeated by Coola after a replay, and he stepped down just after that. But he returns to his native club in the dugout. Of course, he managed Galway in the interim as well, so plenty of experience there on the line. And Patrickswell have a new man in charge, that Eamon Kelly. He's the former Laois and Offaly manager, so he will bring plenty to the party, and he'll be hoping that he'll get a tune out of these Patrickswell men. Well, looking at the guys in the middle there, of course, John O'Halloran of Rory, a very experienced match official. man on the inter-county scene, certainly at underage anyway. He is the man in the middle, and he's ably assisted by Mike Sexton, who's on the far side, and we're going to have the evergreen Patsy Coffey joining us on the near side. And a tough evening for officials, but hopefully they'll do their best to let this one go as the final handshakes are underway. The umbrellas are out in force. We're here for the 2023 Bon Secours Hospitals Limerick Senior Hurling Championship. Jack, I'm not going to ask you to call it now after that, because you're definitely leaning towards the Piarsaigh, but we're hoping for a cracker here, aren't we?
Yeah, well, I'm leaning towards the Piarsaigh, Tom, but I wouldn't rule out a draw, and as I said plenty of times there, William Dunham's loss is massive, so I'm going to call it a draw, Tom, even though he didn't ask me.
Get off the fence. Here we go, we're underway, and you can see Conor Boylan lining out at midfield straight away for the Piarsaigh, and he is onto it, and he just delivers that one inside, looking for Will Henn, and he gathers, giving it back to JJ Carey, and Carey off the right, but is under pressure, and his effort looks like, well, it's going to stay in play, such as the elements, as Adrian Breen gathers it, and Breen gathers it now. What can Breen do? He's going to switch it across to Peter Casey. Casey looking for an early goal, and there it is. Peter Casey inside just about 40 seconds or so. What about that for a start, Jack?
Yeah, and that's the quality of having a player like an Adrian Breen in there. Some other people would let that go. It was a wayward shot by JJ, and he took on his man. He wasn't content with the point, because you know how accurate Adrian is. He probably sensed that Peter Casey was inside, and after 5 points in the second half against All Ireland, that's 1-5 in 35 minutes of hurling for Peter Casey. Not bad going.
Not bad going at all, and Patrickswell looked to reply. The ball delivered inside, and Cathal King is there on the cover, but Calvin Carroll gets it. Calvin Carroll ends up on the deck, referee allowing play to go on, and it is Mike Casey, the team captain, as I said at the start. He is in there, and Kevin Downs, a long way from the 12 berth, is all the way back, and he does well to get a hand pass off, but dropped there by Ronan Lynch. And there's a chance now for Patrickswell. Dermot Burns taking a backward step, but opening up the shoulders, and only one result when Dermot Burns gets a free shot from there, and he fires over for Patrickswell, and a good reply, Jack, for the men from the well. Yeah,
and I suppose the two foreign players in the country there, Peter Casey and Dermot Burns, going back and forward, and the big score there from Dermot, not one that we're surprised to see him get, but crucial that you reply to that in the Piarsaigh goal with a score themselves, and breaks here again, yeah. And Patrickswell ball again.
Yeah, Patrickswell with Kevin O'Brien looking to follow that. Burns point up with another, tight to the sideline here, and a lot of steps there taken, and scruffy stuff. It's Mark Carmody, and Carmody is fouled by Peter Casey. The hands outstretched from Casey, looking at the referee as if he didn't touch him. He did upend him illegally, or otherwise the referee says it was illegal, and there's a chance now for Burns to try his luck from a free. But there's plenty of other action around the county this weekend, as Limerick J produced a bumper programme with all the teams across the senior A and B, the Premier Intermediate and Junior A grades. So many names across the grades that we are so familiar with, and some I'm sure we'll get familiar with over time. And if it's just €4 for anyone heading to a game at the weekend, I would encourage you to grab it and have a nose through it as Burns lines up this one. The bit of a wind is probably behind him, and Dermot Burns just outside his own 65. Burns, the umpires having a look, and the umpires agreeing that one has gone between the posts, and Dermot Burns with a free makes it a 1 point game, and a good reply from Patrickswell.
Yeah, really important reply there from Patrickswell. Twice Dermot Burns is the man, and that's what these leaders do in the club championship. They step up, and Patrickswell are heavily reliant on those three boys, but 3 hurled years it will be at the end of the year. You wouldn't want anyone else, really.
Yeah, ball delivered to Tom O'Brien. Thought he had it, then he slipped, and it allows Vince Harrington to come in and mop it up for the Cardiff men. Will Henn playing a long way from the full forward position, and he gives it to Keith Dempsey. Keith Dempsey, that has the legs, that has the accuracy, and Keith Dempsey opens his tally, and in the first point for the Piarsaigh, and just too much space afforded there to the younger of the Dempseys.
Yeah, I suppose the Piarsaigh are a team that are very like Limerick, and that they play the ball through the lines, and there won't be, high ball launched into the square, and Patrickswell have to be, careful of that they can't leave boys in that much space. But they're in a goal here.
Chance here. Calvin Carroll pulls on it. Calvin Carroll, and it's gone into the back of the net. It trickles its way over the line. Shane Dowling had to come out, and a good start to this championship. If there's goals or anything to go by, we're going to have plenty of them, it seems, this evening. It's probably a forwards day in some ways, because they're going to pounce on mistakes like that, and just Piarsaigh a little bit caught on their heels there, and a nice little finish.
Yeah, and it's from the Peter Casey goal, the next puck out from Jason went all the way in, and it was well defended by Cathal King. But that time, Patrickswell or Na Piarsaigh couldn't get back, and Calvin Carroll made the most of it, and they're suddenly level, and Cian Lynch has the ball. Yeah,
here's Cian Lynch. First time he gets on it, he gives it to Burns. Telepathic almost in the understanding. Burns dishes it back off. He is fouled. Just a little flick there, I think, from Adrian Breen, who was coming with Burns, and Burns is going to trot his way back. Give Cian Lynch a little high five to say that was a nice little link up, and a chance now for the captain of the team, Mr. Aaron Gillan. All-star certainty, and very, very likely hurler of the year, we would feel. I think Jack has nailed his colours to the mast, and that he's certain that hurler of the year is heading back to Patrickswell for a third year on the trot.
Yeah, I think so. Obviously he's scoring helps, and there's a lot of defenders. Burns, one of them, Dan Morrissey, even Barry Nash and Kyle. But I think Aaron gets plaudits for his score, and he's so part of the Limerick team, and thoroughly deserving the award that I'd imagine he'll get.
And Gillan, with his first opportunity, makes absolutely no mistake. And Patrickswell, despite that rocky start, conceding inside 40 seconds, they have replied well, and they lead now 1-3 to 1-1 as Shane Dowling goes short with the puck out. Gives it to Emmett McAvoy, who gives it inside to Mike Foley. And Foley surveying his options neatly through the middle and finds Wayne Kearns. Kearns, a newcomer really to this team, I think, as he gives it into Peter Casey, the jink. Peter Casey, we've seen it so many times, and it is over the bar from Peter Casey. And well, whatever celebrating he did, Jack, it hasn't deterred his quality. That was just, he made it look so easy. Very, very difficult on an evening like this. He just made that look very, very simple altogether.
Yeah, and Peter Casey's one of those players. He's a jink that's pretty much unstoppable. Here's the long ball again from Jason.
Yeah, Jason Gillan finds his opposite number, Shane Dowling. His first game for the club at senior level since 2019. It's hard to believe, but such is the injury plight that Shane has suffered. He has had to bide his time in terms of being picked as number one, and Cian Lynch spills that. Ronan Lynch, he also can't gather it. Aaron Gillan, a long way from where we're used to seeing him. He kicks it outside to Patrick Kirby. Kirby's delivery is just not good enough because it's gone straight to Shane Dowling. And both these sides using the hand pass, Jack. Yeah, and that was probably maybe
that was iffy there from Mike.
Yeah, the inter-county hand pass, maybe we might call it. As it's Will Hen. Good pressure from the well, as you can see. Floods of blue and gold.
Interesting for Patrickswell. They seem to have Keane, Aaron and Dermot all operating pretty much in the middle of the field, and they're getting on a world of ball. Yeah,
Burns arrows one across, but well intercepted there by Casey, and he gives it to Hen. What's Hen going to do? He's not going to look for anyone but Peter Casey.
Why would you?
Peter Casey off the right. The umpires straight away, they don't even need to consult really. Another one for him, and we are level here. Peter Casey with 1-2.
He's an exceptionally good player, Peter, all the time. Like how he doesn't start for Limerick every day is, I think, more of a testament to the quality and depth of Limerick. But I mean, that's 1-2 for him now. He had 5 points, as I said, in the second half to All Ireland. In 43 minutes of hurling, he has 1-7 from play, from probably about 8 balls.
And he drank a pint or two in between as well, and he had his sister's wedding. He's been a busy man as Cian Lynch gathers it, arrows one in, looking for Kevin O'Brien, just skips away from the two O'Briens in fact, and there's a foul on Emmett McAvoy, a Limerick minor and under 20 player in recent seasons, and McAvoy goes in there, and you'll notice the towel required for the players, also required for Johnny, our cameraman. Such is the downpour we're suffering here, so apologies in advance for that, but it will keep the image as clear as possible as Dowling. Be interested to see what he'll do in the second half, Jack, with those with a little bit of a breeze behind him from those frees. Patrickswell will be cautious not to give away too many, even in their deep inside line, as Kirby gets on it. Kirby, I suppose, looking for Aaron Gillan, and it's going to find its way to Gillan, but again, Na Piarsaigh with the numbers, just walking the ball out, so to speak, and they have plenty of numbers. Kevin Down seems to be playing as a sweeper, and he gets blocked there as Kevin O'Brien gives it to Patrick Kirby. Kirby onto the hurley. Patrick Kirby, he flicks it back to Kevin O'Brien, and O'Brien Oh, well, he didn't catch that too well. The first wide of the game. Jack, such is the quality of these two sides. We've waited nearly the best part of 10 minutes before we have a wide. Just over 9, I suppose, before we've had a wide. In these conditions, that's a testament to their quality. Now, maybe they're not taking on as many shots as they might, but still, they've been fairly efficient, both teams.
Well, I know Dermot has taken on 2 fairly long ones, and Peter has 2 over his shoulder, but the quality in show here, Tom, is ridiculous for a club game, and Kevin would be disappointed with that because it probably wasn't a hard enough effort. Patch Kirby did the right thing to get it to him, and
Peter Casey decides to pass this one off to Vince Harrington, and Vince Harrington, an assist now for Peter Casey. Vince Harrington with the point. Great run off the shoulder from him, and Piarsaigh back in front. Fantastic team score there, and again there's encouragement to deliver that towards Galan, but it's in fact gone to Jordan Higgins. Higgins now gives it to Calvin Carroll. We've seen him get a goal already. The umpire is consulting, but that one goes to the right and wide, and 2 quick fire wides for the Well.
Yeah, not under much pressure there was Calvin. He'd be disappointed with that. He'd probably, the spirits be up after the goal. So, Vince Harrington, you talked about players making a name for themselves in the club championship. Vince is one we would have seen at minor level. Haven't seen at 20s yet, but also an All-Ireland winner with Arts Scullery, and he's taken to life at senior level quickly. Yeah,
as Will Hen, busy boy so far, gives off a hand pass, but there's a chop there from Cian Lynch, or so that's what I think it's for. It's going to be a free to Piarsaigh, and Shane Dowling stays in his goal, leaves it to Ronan Lynch. And Lynch, he knows with the elements it's going to be hard to put that over from there. Gives it to Peter Casey. Casey misses it. Here's Breen on the loop. Finds Casey, as you can see. And Casey, look at that lovely spin. What can he do?
He's Burns
loses it. Burns wisely, I think, occupying that channel as Adrian Breen. Let's rip Adrian Breen. That's the first wide for the men from the north side of the city, Cardavan. And that's 2 wides to 1 so far.
That's one thing we kind of spoke on the podcast this week, Tom, that if you get one of those Piarsaigh boys on an off day, one of them will send up, and there Peter Casey was dispossessed, but it was Adrian Breen that stood up and took the shot, and you'd expect him to score those more often than not, but just the quality player they have is, ridiculous.
Yeah, as now what's the option here is we see William O'Donoghue the water by 1 shoe, 1 boot.
I see Dave Dempsey's doing water at the far side as well. He'd be a handy sub to bring on. I presume he's picking a knock or something to say he's not playing.
Cian Lynch gathers it, delivers it over, but back to the man who took the free in the first instance. That's Kevin Downs. And again, good tenacious defending there. That time was Kelvin Lynch. He's the older brother of Cian, and
it's well kept
helped
in there.
Yeah, well kept in. Nice little flick. Oh, lovely little flick. Hand pass inside. Referee allowing play to continue here, and that's gone over the bar. And
Calvin Carroll, fairly sure it was, and Jordan Higgins. What a beautiful link up there.
Indeed. Just looking at lovely stuff off the left hand side, and level once again. Shane Dowling has a look.
He's gone short again out to Emmett
McAvoy.
Another player that impressed last year.
Indeed, he's kind of made that number 2 jersey his own, really, in a formidable enough Piarsaigh side as Keith Dempsey gets on it. Dempsey off the left, and Dempsey under a bit of pressure gives the second wide. And Jason Galan looks for his brother, finds him, but there's a foul in there. Which way is it going?
Which way is it going? The players are amused as we are.
Well, it's gone in favour of Piarsaigh. Not sure there was an awful lot wrong with that. You can see the umbrellas are in plentiful supply over.
The youth have no umbrellas.
Yeah, Hardy Bucks across there. We're under a little bit of a cover here.
Shane is coming out to take this one. Probably one at the distance with the wind, but it's probably as dangerous. I'd say Patrickswell would rather if he hit this dead.
Yeah, latest score from Mungert, and South Liberties will bring it at in a second as it goes in towards Casey. Somehow catches it. He's met by 3 or 4 Patrickswell men, and the ball is knocked out for 65. Yeah, Mungert 4 points to no score ahead on South Liberties. That after just about the same amount of time, 10-12 minutes. Brian O'Mara with the latest effort there for Mungret. So that's in Group B. There's a full round of games there, and we'll do our best to keep you some bit up to date with those as the evening goes on.
As you look there, Tom, what a catch there from Peter Casey. And even though there was bodies all around him, he seemed to catch it around his mid-drift, and obviously the number of bodies stopped him in his tracks. He got a ball off to JJ Carey, I think, at a wild swing, but Piarsaigh did well to stop that there. But it was, as I said, it's probably a more dangerous ball into that wind that it'll hang a small bit on you players. Peter got a goal very like that against, I think, Tipperary in the league semi-final, but Patrickswell just did enough to snuff it out. But Ron Lynch has a chance from 65.
Yeah, Lynch, that looks good. No, it doesn't, sorry. Tails it to the left. Just as well in Group 2, Group B, whichever way you look at, Ballybrown 1-3, Monaleen 3, and the goal there from Barry Adams on his senior championship debut for the club. And ball is sent long, but lovely take by Kevin O'Brien. O'Brien just runs out of road though. Interesting to see Kevin Downs at centre back, really, or well, as the sweeper, if you like. Obviously a very, very talented forward on his day. Just trying something different during the Piarsaigh as Vince Harrington sends it up the channel. Will Hen has all the time to do what he wants with this one. And Hen, well, he'll be disappointed with that one.
Just touching on that switch there, I'd say Kevin Downs actually playing centre back, and Ronan is gone to midfield. He played a lot there for
Dundee. Just see him off camera picking up Patrick Kirby there. So yeah, good spot there. But Downs at 12, or wearing 12, but playing at 6. So
I know he played there in the league. That's something that they were trying, and obviously are sticking with it. I don't know, it's enforced by Will, but they've tried it.
Oh, what a take by Breen! Breen, Adrian Breen gathers that one, spins off the right, and just arrows it through the posts. What about that, Jack? Super stuff from Route 1 hurling, really. But when you've a man that can catch it like that, well, you just put it up there and let him catch it. What a score.
Yeah, I probably singled out David Dempsey before the game as one of the stand-up players in the championship, but it's probably done a disservice to Adrian Breen. So consistent for the Piarsaigh. Probably didn't work out in a Limerick jersey, but for the Piarsaigh, he's a serious danger man, and what a score there. Yeah,
you must remember that. Well, Patsy Coffey gets a shoulder there, but if you look at Adrian Breen, he's played in this 4-in-a-row run. He played in 2020, even in the final, so he was clearly highly thought of. Limerick weren't ravaged with injury, I think, that year.
Yeah, I know he's one player that has suffered with injuries at time, and that's probably has derailed his inter-county career. But he's seven county titles, 4 Munsters, and an All Ireland. So he's not doing too bad for himself, as well as that 2020 All Ireland. But at a club level, what a player to have.
Most definitely. As Patsy Coffey has recovered from that shoulder he received as Ronan Lynch. He was always a good man for a line ball, and he chops it in towards the corner there. It's going to go all the way out, is it? It stops dead on the turf as Mark Carmody gives it inside. Good play from Patrickswell, composed play really, as Dermot Burns gathers it, and they can move it all the way along. Jordan Higgins, he's fond of a little trick and a flick as he gives it to Lynch. Sends it inside to Tom O'Brien. Worked his way up the pitch in terms of where he's playing. He's shoved in the back by Cathal King. Those guys will know each other quite well down the years, although in fairness to Tom O'Brien, he played a lot deeper for Patrickswell down the years, so that's another noticeable switch. He was I suppose traditionally a defender really for the Well, but he's trying his luck in the forwards now. Yeah,
I suppose that's the beauty of these players in modern hurling, is that they can play in a whole host of positions, and hurling has gotten very fluid, Tom. I mentioned Keane Lynch there. He probably just plays in the middle of the field. You could see him at centre forward 1 minute, you could see him at centre back another. I know he was one that people had maybe thought about that could fill in for Declan Hanna, but you saw how Will went in for Declan at centre back, and that's just the quality of the players on offer, I suppose. For Patrickswell, they've tried players in a lot of different positions. Even Aaron has played a lot deeper today as he fires over. Oh, it's wide from Aaron. It's one you don't expect, and in this weather there are going to be a few more misses, but a player of Aaron's calibre there, you'd be surprised to see that going wide. And it keeps the Piarsaigh in front as well. Yeah, far from robots these players are. We'll allow them a little bit of grace here and there. Robots don't do well in the West, Tom. No, they do not. So maybe he is a robot. As back to Downs. There's a man over here. Takes a solo really without looking. Oh, doesn't catch that well though. And Kevin O'Brien is on it. There is Patrick Kirby, his brother John, not togged out. Sons, of course, of the great Gary, as the ball is with Cian Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald in towards Galan. Galan well marshalled by
Cathal
King. And it's going to be a free in.
Playful nudge there from Aaron, and he's into county teammate Mike Casey. And look, I think Cathal would take that. It might have been a soft free, but Aaron had the ball in his hand there for a split second, and we saw what he's done. You know, it might have been maybe a slight in his career at the start that he wasn't as ruthless in front of goal, but he's really bucked that trend. He got, I think, 3 goals this year in the championship, all at crucial stages. He's got, I think, 14 now for Limerick, and he's within a position here, Tom, that he could go for a goal. I don't think he will, but he could.
He's lining up quite quickly, but easily enough strokes it over the bar. And another one for Mr. AG, Aaron Galan.
2 frees for Aaron now. Hasn't got on score from play yet, I don't think.
No, but I suppose he did win his own free there, so he'll be happy with that as Shane Dowling goes for the towel again. I tell you, a great country if you can only put a roof on it, as they say.
Yeah, we have a roof on us now, so
yeah,
we're thankful of that.
Exactly. There's a clash of the ash there beneath us. Jordan Higgins gets it. He's really good hand so far, hasn't he? I don't think he's struck the ball yet, as Patrick Kirby has to go back. Mark Carmody was shouting for gets it, switches play.
Keane Fitz again.
Yeah, Keane Fitz. Oh, Keane Lynch put the brakes on, but thankfully for Patrickswell, it works out in the end. Higgins, great block, great hook, I should say, by that man Conor Boylan, and he gets on it. These all look like good hand passes, Jack, we must say, as the ball is dished across to Keith Dempsey. Dempsey through a sea of bodies, one of them being Mr. Dermot Burns, and Patrickswell come up with the goods and going to carry it away. Again, just a scrappy piece of play. You'd feel there's going to be a big roar if one team gets a score. Throws the ball away, does Will Hen.
Calvin Carroll doing a lot of good work around the field.
There's a late block in there, but the ball doesn't stop. Yeah, Calvin Carroll has been busy. O'Brien and Downs end up in the deck. There's the other O'Brien, Kevin. Always good for a score or two for the well. Kevin O'Brien. Too many steps, I think it is, yeah. Just ran out of row and was
very cute there from the Piarsaigh, because we know the wheels that Kevin has, that if he was open road there, but Mike stood him up first, and then Emmett McAvoy obviously has great wheels himself, got in there, but disappointing for Jordan Higgins there, because he flicked it up with his foot. The ball worked its way back to him, but a good hook there. And in conditions like this, Tom, that's going to be probably hooks and blocks are going to win you a game more than goals and points. I know at the end of the day it's about who scores more, but you know, very even in terms of who's doing the blocking and hooking so far.
Yeah, is the ball into JJ Carey. Carey, just a little bit of hook on it, but still has the power, still has the trajectory, and JJ Carey finds himself on the score sheet. A fine score from him, and ends up in around 6 minutes now for Piarsaigh.
Good score there from JJ, another player on his senior championship debut. Yeah,
it was Patrick Kirby who thought he had done enough with the hook, but the shot still spiraled its way over the posts. As Downs, powerful man is Kevin Downs, flicks it to former intercounty teammate, that being Mr. Dermot Burns, reigning hurler of the year, and gives it away to Wayne Kearns. Kearns to Will Hen, and he's blocked by Lynch. Again, it's just scrappy stuff at times as the rolling maul gets going there.
The World Cup doesn't start for a month.
There's a good clean hand pass and a lovely bit of touch from Kirby. Again, you'd wonder with the player like Aaron Galan, can they go a little bit more direct? Kirby, he's going to try and go direct himself, but that's tailing. And it's tailing to the left and wide. So that's 8 wides now between the sides, 4 apiece.
Yeah, the accuracy is bending players are small, but
just as I was
probably just getting heavy out there, Tom, as well. Like Hurley's are going to be wet now, Steelers are going to be wet. It's going to be a war of attrition in the next 40 minutes or so.
Yeah, as Keane Lynch tries. Okay, I'm not going to even ask how he picked that up, but he did so somehow, despite Peter Casey being right on top of him, got it into his hand, and Patrickswell work it down. Cathal King, captain of that All-Ireland winning team. And what a day that was, St. Patrick's Day. Many moons ago it seems like, but first Limerick team to win the Club All-Ireland title at senior level, as there's a free coming. Kirby fouls Lynch.
I think it goes to show how strong the wind is, Tom, that the likes of Ronan Lynch and Shane Dowling aren't having a go at shots now. I know Shane is coming up, but again,
not really opening the shoulders and really going for it. They're looking for options.
That's just outside the 165 when we saw Shane's career, and obviously Ronan, like that, they have that in the locker, but going the more, I suppose, efficient route to Adrian Breen, who was well marshalled here.
Yeah, as Breen knocks it out, you can see the vantage points being gathered on the backs of, or the tops of walls and everything around here in Clahan.
Yeah, handy place to live.
Fine venue for a game normally, except for when it's raining cats and dogs. But nevertheless, we've been treated to an interesting contest so far. As Na Piarsaigh, with just about 5 minutes or so to go in the half, hold the slenderest of advantage. We're just going to halt here. I'm not sure the issue. Well, he's just telling them to bring the free back is all.
Will Hen is looking for water there, and it is a war of attrition out there. It's senior hurling, and it's a long time coming around for the club players. To be fair, Tom, like it's,
and the league in Limerick doesn't cut it. I'm afraid it is what it is. It's you're missing so many players, and it just doesn't have the same feel to the championship. That most definitely not. Yeah,
and like you're playing without your best players, I suppose, that are inside in the Limerick camp and pick up injuries as you go back training hard and stuff. And like Patrickswell, for example, their game plan is going to be completely different when they have Keane, Dermot and Aaron. So even if they had the rest of the players, just even the formation, game plan different, is going to change in the league. So it's a real cut and thrust championship, and a wide there.
Ronan Lynch just sliding it after Hurley.
It's one thing as well about moving Kevin back to centre back is he would have been the free taker last year, and you're not going to bring your centre back up for that. So I know Ronan is a brilliant free taker. He's on right.
Lovely from Galan. Loses his footing, has to slip it, and Cian Lynch, jinking out of a couple of tackles, gives it back to Aaron, and he threw that one. Well, he's claiming that he hand passed it. I don't know about that, Aaron. You were on the way to the floor. We'll try and have another look ourselves here. Well, if he's
too quick for everyone else. It does look like there is a double movement, but does he ever release it?
The ref needs to see a bit of daylight between it, or that is clear separation. And I think even Cian Lynch is probably the biggest proponent of the double movement, if you like. But Aaron pinned for that one, as again the towel goes in for Lynch, and this one is more direct, but it is much further away. He's on the 65 or thereabouts.
Yeah, this will be for a 2-point lead. We haven't had a 2-point lead, Tom, since I suppose around the time of Patrickswell's goal that Aaron Glenn got a free.
That's it, as Ronan Lynch makes no mistake on this one.
Daylight, and it gets going quickly out to Cian Fitzgerald in the wing there. He's looking for Terry Burns, as you would.
Yeah, Cian Fitzgerald has moved to Patrickswell this year. A transfer to him, a good addition. In fact, sorry, I'm mixing up the Fitzgerald. Apologies to Cian. Yeah, of course, Cian is a long serve. Too many Fitzgeralds in my own head there now, as Jack corrects me, as the play rumbles on inside the Na Piarsaigh half. Will Hen didn't know he played football, but he puts it on the right boot, gets plenty of air in it, but Na Piarsaigh don't have anyone underneath that, as Cian Lynch, what's he going to do? Need I ask? He's going to put it straight between the posts, and Cian Lynch, just like that, cuts the gap back to one.
It's probably one criticism you could have of Cian Lynch's play, that he doesn't back himself enough, I would say. He got the 6 points in the 21.
Was that all?
Ireland finally got 2 against Kilkenny, but he has that in the locker, and always had throughout his career. He's very, very accurate.
Yeah, there's a head injury there to Mike Casey, and we're going to halt things here. But yeah, I think in fairness though, if you had Aaron Galan in front of you, and obviously they're good friends at the same age, you'd probably back Aaron too if you just give him a decent ball, and maybe Cian is not motivated by scores. He's the ultimate team player, so there's that side of it too. I get what you're saying, that if he can do that once, why can't he do it 4 or 5 times in a game? But
I don't think Cian cares if he had 10 scores or no scores. He definitely isn't motivated by scoring. But I think on a day like today, it would be probably more beneficial that you see how slippy it is and how hard it is to take the ball first time. That if you can open the shoulders from out there when you have the aid of the wind, it'd be something. If I was Patrickswell, I would be saying to Cian, I was saying, look, back yourself. It's one of the best hurlers ever laced it up, so I would be backing him. Mike is still down. I think it was a stray boot.
He just clashed with Kevin O'Ryan. In fairness, Kevin is going in to check on, I suppose, his old schoolmate too, went to our school reach course. But I think very, very much
won a 21s
innocuous, yeah, well.
All Ireland together back in 2015 as well. So, and look, these boys play each other every year, so they're no strangers to one another. We have a couple of updates, I think.
Ballybrown won 5, Monaleen 5 points that after 25 minutes, and Munger St. Paul's 1-11 to 3 points up on South Liberties with 27 minutes gone the clock. What about that from Mungers? They made their mark at times last year, didn't show the consistency needed to get out of the group, but again, they'll be looking for that this year, and if they can continue that and get the 2 points, that will be the perfect start for Munger. But
great defending.
Yeah, Tom O'Brien back there does well to intercept as we're into the dying embers now of this half, as Aaron Gillan takes it in the air. Emmett McAvoy stuck to him, and illegally so, just has the hand in over, says John O'Halloran. In fairness, John O'Halloran always explains his decisions, and lovely clean take from Aaron. And
yeah, you just took away my point completely there of what I said, driving in long. But look, if you have Aaron Glenn inside there and he's, well, look, even if he's 50-50, you'd back him, and sometimes you'd back him 40-60 if he's behind these men. But you'd fancy Aaron to level up here with half an hour on the clock.
Yeah, Aaron gets the towel. I'd say the towels are probably wetter than anything here now at this stage, but they'll do something just to help the free taker as Aaron puts it between the posts. The umpires were a bit slow to indicate that one.
Yeah, I don't think we needed to see it going over to back Aaron in that situation. I think he got 347 this year in the senior championship and into the top 10 all-time scorers, so he's really making his mark, and he's only 27 this year, so he's a lot more time to go. Yeah,
he's just around his birthday this time of year, I'm not mistaken, so he'll have more celebrating to do as Piarsaigh look to just try and arrest some of the sort of advantage before the interval, as Kevin Downs on the overlap, the dummy, and then he gives the hand pass to Will Hen. Lovely interchange, it must be said, out the back door to Downs. Is that going to turn? That is going to go.
Score.
Well, it's hotly disputed here in front of us, and the ball has gone over the bar from Kevin Downs. That was close, it must be said, to going wide, but the score is given.
Yeah, and really intricate hand pass in the build-up there. Conor Boylan, who, to be honest, we haven't seen much of Conor for a player of that calibre, but he got in there. Will Hen was involved as well, and Kevin Downs. And I suppose at centre-back, he offers that, coming up the field and driving over the bar. And it's the final score of the half there, Tom.
So Piarsaigh just about get their nose in front, 1-8 to 1-7. We'll let the players go in and try and dry off and reset for the second half. We'll take a bit of a break here. We'll have the scores from Group B before the start of the second half, so don't go too far away wherever you are. We'll talk to you again in a few moments. And his effort, it looks like, well, it's going to stay in play, such as the elements, as Adrian Breen gathers it. And Breen gathers it now. What can Breen do? He's going to switch it across to Peter Casey. Casey looking for an early goal, and there it is. Patrickswell, Dermot Burns taking a backward step, but opening up the shoulders. And only one result when Dermot Burns gets a free shot from there. Burns, the umpires having a look, and the umpires agreeing that one has gone between the posts. A long way from the full forward position, and he gives it to Keith Dempsey. Keith Dempsey, that has the legs, that has the accuracy, and Keith Dempsey.
I suppose the Piarsaigh are a team that are very like Limerick, and that they play the ball through the lines, and there won't be, high ball launched into the square. And Patrickswell have to be, careful of that they can't leave boys in that much space. But they're in a goal here.
Chance here. Calvin Carroll pulls on it. Calvin Carroll, and it's gone into the back of the net.
Thoroughly deserving the award that I'd imagine he'll get.
And Gillan earns a newcomer really to this team, I think, as he gives it into Peter Casey, the jink. Peter Casey, we've seen it so many times. He's not going to look for anyone but Peter Casey.
Why would you?
Peter Casey. Off the right, the umpires straight away. They don't even need. They have plenty of numbers. Kevin Downs seems to be playing as a sweeper.
Probably did the right thing to get it to him. And
Peter Casey decides to pass this one off to Vince Harrington, and Vince Harrington, an assist now for the flick. Oh, a lovely little flick hand pass inside. Referee allowing play to continue here, and that's gone over the bar.
Trying, and obviously are sticking with it. I don't know, it's enforced by Will, but they've tried it.
Oh, what a take by Breen.
Well, I don't think he will, but
he's lining up quite quickly, but easily enough strokes it over the bar. And another one
so far
is the ball into JJ Carey. Carey, just a little bit of hook on it, but still has the power, still has the trajectory. And
Glenn got a free.
That's it, as Ronan Lynch. Anyone underneath that is Cian Lynch. What's he going to do? Need I ask? He's going to put it straight, but they'll do something just to help the free taker. Change, it must be said. Out the back door to Downs. Is that going to turn? That is going to go.
Score.
Well, it's hotly disputed here in front of us. You're very welcome back to Clahan for the second half of this Bandscore Hospital Limerick Senior Hurling Championship. Is the clash, of course, of Patrickswell and Piarsaigh, and it is the men from Cardavan who hold the slenderest of half-time advantages. It's a goal and 8 to a goal and 7, as you'll see on screen. Their sides nearly ready to rock and roll for the second half, and just before John O'Halloran brings the game back underway, we'll just bring you up to date. It's Adair 2-4, Gary Spillane 6 points, Ballybrown 1-8, Monleen 5 points, and Mungret St. Paul's 1-13, South Liberties 4 points. That at half time across the Senior B games, as Patrickswell look to start like Piarsaigh did in the first half, and it's Fitzgerald, Cian Fitzgerald. He turns that in lovely, and Cian Fitzgerald, I was doing him a disservice earlier in the first half, mixing up who he was, and it's a fine score from Fitzgerald to level this one.
Brilliant score, and Cian he's a young player, but he's been around for the last few years. I think he was coming onto the scene around the time when Kieran Carey was managing the side. Probably has a county medal to his name, but he's making that halfback berth his own, and a good start there.
Yeah, as you could see how long they go, and it's just scrappy around there. Cian Lynch just classy stuff, just flicks it into his hand, but is JJ Carey, and there's a hurley and everything flying in there. It's really difficult stuff. Keith Dempsey gets on it, well he doesn't, and again another Patrickswell man trying to chop that was Patrick Kirby. There's a foul there on JJ Carey. He ends up on the deck, and a free going in favour of the Light Blues as a chance for them to restore that advantage.
What the skill there from Cian, Tom. A lot of people trying it. I know myself, I've tried it at home and couldn't do it, not to mind in the heat of battle like this.
How's the garden? There's loads of holes in this there.
Loads of holes.
Yeah, as interesting.
Effortless.
As we mentioned free taking for Piarsaigh, and Ronan Lynch taking him a little bit closer to the goal than he would have ordinarily in the past, so
I suppose he's playing in midfield today, Tom, so license to go.
That's it, he goes with it, just floats it up there and straight over the bar, and he adds to his tally. It's 2 frees now to his name, and Ronan Lynch puts Piarsaigh back in front. And
good break there by Mike Foley and Aaron Gillan. Obviously the
tricky stuff. Gillan kicking it ahead of himself, kicks it all the way through, but he's going to get it now. Gillan, what can he do here? Aaron Gillan low. Good save by Dowling. Gave him that side of the goal, invited the shot across the face of it, and the ball is back to it's Tom O'Brien, and Tom O'Brien makes sure that the attack is fruitful. And a good save from the goalkeeper Shane Dowling, that was probably comfortable enough for him height wise, but nevertheless it needed stopping, and Gillan maybe wanted to just arrow that into the turf a bit more. Just a nice height for Dowling, but flicks it away. Tom O'Brien gathers up the pieces and fires it over.
Good save, but it's one Aaron, I talked about him being ruthless earlier, but it's one he'd be disappointed with. Obviously he's gone low into the ground throughout the summer. It's probably a bit wet to go into the ground, and as you said, nice height for Shane Dowling, but that'll get his confidence up after a solid first half. Back in the senior championship for the first time in 4 years. Yeah,
it's good stuff here now from Patrick Kirby. Struggled to gather it at first. Kirby, there's a chop down there by Wayne Kearns. Kearns eager to impress, I'm sure, stepping up to the senior side today, and just a little bit over eager, I think, on his opposite number, and gives away the free. And Jack, you must have got soaking up to the bathroom there at half time, did you?
No, I'm actually grand. Just trying to fix my hood here now. That got a bit wet, but look, it's not as wet.
We're the only two men in the whole place that are dry. Yeah, there's even wet people coming over at half time trying to join us.
Yeah, I know, we're the luxury here underneath a little canopy, but look, you'd stand out in the rain to watch these boys playing. One of the main men over the ball here, and Aaron looking to give Patrickswell the first lead since the 13th minute, I think.
Yeah, and Gillan does so, just tucks it in nicely and adds to his 3 points in the first half. A fourth now for him, all from place balls, and he's just starting to hum a bit, you'd feel, starting to get involved a bit more.
Yeah, probably would be disappointed he doesn't have a goal to his name, but he's pressing up here on Cathal King, but Cahill's so experienced.
Yeah, Cathal King sends it inside, it's spilled. Kevin O'Brien goes for it, and it's really intense stuff around the breaking ball, and Cian Lynch is in there. I think his own man maybe stopped him there, and Lynch is hunting down Mike Casey, and Casey just a little flick out to Emmett McAvoy. Again, the Piarsaigh, despite maybe that gentle breeze behind them, still playing their same style of game, still playing the short game, as Finn Harrington gets on it. Harrington There's a bit of a hook on the shot. That's going to tail. It's going to go to the right and wide, and the first wide of the half for na Piarsaigh. Good hook there. I'm not sure who exactly it was, but he done enough anyway, the Patrickswell man.
Yeah, and I suppose likewise that we were saying about Aaron in the first half, when Patrickswell weren't really giving him the ball that often. Peter Casey has been starved. Like, I mean, he has the 1-2, but has he got the 3 possessions? Is that all he has? You know, so he's making hay in the rain.
Yeah,
there's another one here.
He did have one other one, lost the gun where he caught it just in front of him, but was snuffed out. Yeah. So he's been efficient, if you like, as Dermot Burns typically drives out of a few challenges, finds Lynch to O'Brien to Lynch, back to Kirby, and Kirby
free.
Yeah, Kirby shot tails to the left. We're going to come back for the free. There was a late hit there on Kevin O'Brien, and good refereeing by John O'Halloran. 5 seconds, sometimes it feels like an eternity. It is a long time. You can get off 2 or 3 passes, as na Piarsaigh did there, or as Patrickswell did there, but come back for the free.
You could see the telepathy there between Kevin O'Brien and Keane Lynch, who have obviously soldiered together for, I suppose, a decade now at this stage, that Keane got it, and the second he was on his bike, the second to give it off, and Kevin just waited for it, popped a little hand pass, and I don't know, did Patrick Kirby know he had the advantage? But look, he does have the advantage, and Aaron Gillane here can give Patrickswell a little cushion, you know, in a low enough scoring game in these conditions. Every score is crucial, and he is taking his time over it. Obviously, he has that free taking technique down to a T, and he spoke about changing that from 2018 to 2019.
He actually didn't have one. I think it was the thing when he first came onto the Limerick scene. He didn't. Maybe he changed it since, but he actually didn't really have one. He said he used to just throw the ball down and throw it over the bar. Well, he's put that one over the bar.
He's still throwing them over.
Yeah.
He has a little technique, and that's 5 frees now for Aaron, and 111 plays 1-9, and it's a good start by Patrickswell.
We've been joined by a few youngsters who've brought the crisp. They're not offering us any, Jack, but
I've had enough of
them. There was a good sale at half time, it seems, as another free is given, and it's going to be a similar position to where he scored one a few minutes ago. As
interesting to note, Patrickswell have actually changed their jerseys. They're back into their older jersey. I just recognised it there. That was their county final winning jersey from a couple of years back. Na Piarsaigh are wearing the same style of jersey. Could have a second one in the bag, but they're getting wet anyway. They might be dry for the first 5 minutes of the half, but as we approach the 7th minute after the restart, they're going to be drowned rats again. As
Ronan Lynch, that's going to go close, but it's going to just go inside, and the umpires agree that is a point for na Piarsaigh. They needed that one, you'd feel. 3 on the bounce for the well, as Aaron Gillane pulled himself out to wing forward, but then moved away as Kirby accidentally or otherwise kicks it away from himself, gets it onto the stick, but just straight into the hand of Mike Casey. He'll mop those ones up all day, as JJ Carey, right-handed, delivers in towards Mike Casey. Ball just sticking in the Clahan turf here, as Burns plays a little bit of soccer with it. Someone going to try and pick the ball? Well, we finally have someone. That one is Will Hen. Hen has to recycle. Na Piarsaigh hunting another score, hunting one from play. They haven't got one
here for Jason.
Yeah, haven't got one from play.
Gone back
in the half, and Peter Casey on Jason Gillane, and James Carrick well held there, but given away as Kevin Downs vacates the 6th spot for now anyway, at least. Back inside. Na Piarsaigh kind of bringing themselves into trouble sometimes with the style of play, and Downs is fouled there by Jack Kelleher. As ever, the player protests his innocence, but now for a bit of dissent it's been brought forward.
Easier for Ronan, and interesting if he knocks this over, which we imagine he is, that'll be 3 frees in this half, and they're only scores. And you mentioned it there briefly, like going back into traffic. I know they're well capable of taking the ball on the line, but you'd imagine there's going to be space at the far side. Vince Harrington has put one over, put one wide as well, but you know, if you're in a Piarsaigh, you're probably looking to use the space a small bit more.
Yeah, this is a chance to tie it up. 1-11, 1-10, as you'll see on your screen. There are a few people trying to get the score here alongside us. We can't see the scoreboard in Clahan here, but I can assure you that it's going to be a tie game if he fires this over. Yep. Indeed he does. And Ronan Lynch makes no mistake. 3 frees from very similar positions, Jack.
Yeah.
But gets them all right.
1-11 plays 1-11.
1-11 apiece, as Patrickswell play their own bit of short game. Kevin O'Brien. Jersey numbers, you may notice, mean very, very little, as Will Hen catches Kevin O'Brien on the way out. And a chance now for Patrickswell to launch a bomb from the stick of Dermot Burns.
Dermot Burns says, give it to me. He obviously is backing himself.
I'd be getting out of his way if he said that too, yeah.
From this distance. And I mean, it's probably gone under the radar. A lot of free takers don't probably get the credit they deserve, especially someone like Dermot who doesn't get the easy one to settle him. He's always driving it over from long range, and he was imperious in that final. He got obviously 7 of those coming from frees. I think he had 6 shots in a 15-minute spell, all outside his own 65, and
well, this one is more or less on his 65.
Yeah, no mistake.
And look at that, just see where the sliotar lands. It lands direct over the bar, and Dermot Burns adds his 2 in the first half, 1 from a free, 1 from play. That's another free from Burnsy.
Shane Dowling testing out the wind, down towards Adrian Breen.
Yeah, as Will Hen, who gave away that free, looks to make amends. Takes it into a tackle, gives it off. Oh, there's a lovely hook there on Vince Harrington by Cian Lynch. And Pat Kirby, he's come thundering into this one in the third quarter. Look at that for soloing. Looks up at every opportunity, but eventually loses his footing as he went to strike it. Emmett McAvoy carries out, and without looking, Wayne Kearns opens the shoulders, and that won't impress the management team. As well, Breen has it. Breen gives it back to Will Hen, and Hen on his favoured right side, he knocks it over. A fine score from Will Hen.
That's where I'd like to see Will Hen operating more. He seems to be very, very deep. I'd say that's his first shot of the day. He's a scoring forward. Mark Carmody seems to be down there, but I suppose Patrick Kirby at the other end of the field, he's doing an awful lot right. It's just that end product isn't working out. He's given it off twice and it's been intercepted in there. I don't know, was he hooked but just he's doing the right thing, and it will come for him. But they're doing a lot of work there, that Patrickswell midfield. But good score there by Will Hen, and as I said, I'd like to see him further up the field as a genuine scoring option for Na Piarsaigh. It's been low scoring, 112 apiece, so every one of them is going to be absolutely crucial. Mark Carmody seems to be fine here, and I say a good few of the boys are happy to get a rest. Dave Dempsey is out with the water. He's togged out.
He's a big absentee, isn't he?
Huge absentee. He's togged out, so look, you'd be hoping from a neutral point of view that he will get a run out, because he has been one of the best players in the championship over the last 7 or 8 years, so on a serious part of this Na Piarsaigh Odyssey.
Yeah, as there's a bit of a block there on Tom O'Brien's delivery. Again, Jack's prediction of a draw, you'd feel he's starting to get excited about it. We're level again. Cian Lynch in with the block there. And the line ball.
There's no money in it, only pride, so can't cash that in.
Yeah, as Cian Lynch should have textbook one-handed block, but got connection on the sliotar. Mike Sexton indicates it's going now for Na Piarsaigh, and Boylan will cut it in. Gets a bit of air on it, spinning it in towards Peter Casey, and Casey hasn't played football in a while for Na Piarsaigh. He's touched a little bit off there, and he knocks it out for a line ball in favour of Tubber Podrick.
Peter Casey is a fine footballer. Played against Ballyseen a couple of times in challenge games, and there's a good few of that in the Piarsaigh side. If they stopped it for the big ball, they'd be dangerous in the senior ranks.
Don't encourage him now, Jack, because there's other clubs want to give that a go. Cian Lynch, well, he claims to be hit in the face guard. He drops his hurley, and then
he's the helmet off.
Yeah, he's after taking the helmet off here in front of us. He's got a little bit of a slap there as Galan and Downs go in for it. We'll keep an eye on Cian Lynch here off camera as play continues through Shane Dowling, switching it across to Keith Dempsey, and he sends it in now towards JJ Carey, and Carey off the right. Where's that going to go? That's going to go close.
Wide.
It's gone to the right hand side and wide, but Cian Lynch,
he's fine. He's looking for the ball again.
Yeah,
a chance to let the mullet breathe. Take the helmet off. Get going again.
Lynch.
Galan,
I should say. Galan claims it in the air. He's going to want to get this onto his left. Well, he hand passes it along the turf, gets it back. Aaron Galan off the right. Top in. Aaron Galan, hurley to it and all from Shane Dowling. Well, I thought he wanted to get it on the left, Jack. It doesn't matter left or right. What a strike, what a finish.
What a strike, and he won a ball that he had no right to win, and we're so used to that from Aaron, but picks it out from inside his man on the run. He's so good at that, Tom, that he doesn't take the ball in the air standing. He is getting it on the run. His turn, takes the man off. Ball over to Calvin Carroll, I think, and switches back on to his right side and into that corner. No chance for Shane Dowling, and now we have a cushion.
Yeah, well, what about that? Shane Dowling, you say no chance. He managed to get, I think, a little bit of ash to it. just pushed it up further into the top corner. Little he could do, though. In fairness, he did all he could do, I think, really. But what about that from Aaron Gillan? We were kind of thinking he was starting to come to life a bit. Maybe it was the fresh jersey at half time helps him along. But what about that for a rocket? I think you said 14 goals for Limerick in the championship, 13 of those from play, and I'm sure many more now for Patrickswell as he adds to his tally.
Yeah, and I don't know would he swap any of them for that goal there, because that's crucial for Patrickswell. 212 to 112, just under 10 or into the last 15 minutes of the half time. So there won't be that many scores from here on in. But Ronan Lynch with a sideline.
Oh, I love that. Look at that. Yeah, Ronan Lynch. I mentioned in the first half he was fond of them back in the day when he was playing under 21s and stuff like that. He hasn't forgotten how to take them.
No, and in this weather, when the turf is going to cut up, any slight misconnect with the ball and it won't hardly bobble. It's like my golfing today, but what a strike there by Ronan.
I can tell you there's nothing like Jack's golfing. Unless it's slicing thereafter. Now here we go as Patrickswell look to kind of re-establish maybe a foothold and start to pin back na Piarsaigh. Looks like Patrick's or Ballybrown are going well, as are Mungret, and their three sides last we know are leading their contests. Ballybrown 217 to 10 in front, similar enough for Mungret St. Paul's 215 to 8, so similar, exact same margins actually in those ones. And the last we had, it was Adair 2-4 to 6 ahead of the bouncers, Gary Spillane, that is at half time. So that's all in senior beat. Those sides vying for a top 2 spot and a place in the quarterfinals in around about 9 or 10 weeks time.
Another goal for Adair, 3-5 to 7 at the moment, Tom. So
doing well without their leader in terms of Declan Hannon is, well, once, twice. There we go. Ronan Lynch with 2 quick fire sidelines, and that'll help negate the concession of the goal. Yeah,
100%. And that goal now is back down to a point, if you get me, So
yeah, that's it.
What a crucial score.
Yeah, just getting them back into the contest. 1 point game again. As Jason Gillan goes along looking for Kevin O'Brien underneath it. O'Brien contests, but no one gets clean possession just yet. As Ronan Lynch, can he do something from play now after? He's got 5 now in the second half, hasn't he? It's 5 of the 6 for his side. 2 sidelines, 3 frees. Will Hen, the other man on the score sheet, can he add to it here? Lovely take. Jinks inside, puts it on to Hurley and has to spoon it off to JJ Carey. Carey, is he going to hunt a goal? JJ Carey just sensibly enough sends it high and sends it over the crossbar.
And that's the goal cancelled out, Tom.
Yeah, that's it. Good response from the county champions.
Great response.
Yeah, I think there was tentative calls for him to maybe go hunting the goal, but the angle closed down, the space closed down, and just kind of fired it. Hopefully it maybe might tip under the bar, but just enough for the crossbar, as it's time for a clean of the lens from Johnny Upton, our cameraman.
100% there. JJ knew worst case scenario with that kind of shot, that it was going to be deflected over by Jason, if not go over or in of its own accord. And I just see Aaron is floating out to the wing here, so I'd imagine his brother is just going to pop it down there and tap him.
Just after pointing to the little few yards in front of him, just land it there, please, Jason.
Yep, it's going out that way.
And it goes towards Gillan, as Boylan is in amongst it. That's good stuff from Boylan. Will Hen just does enough to flick it across to Mike Foley. Foley delivers it inside. Breen is under it. Breen gathers now. What's he going to do? He's going to take on his own score. He is Adrian Breen, but he did something similar in the first half when he took one clean. Just a little bit off balance there, maybe sends it to the right and wide.
Strange to see Adrian miss, such as his consistency, and he didn't look very comfortable under Tom. I think it's fair to say. I'd say he was hoping for a man coming against him. It was Will Hen the last time, but went to his own accord and just wide. Down to Aaron again. He's been fouled there by Mike, and I don't know how you go about Aaron Gillan, but you can't be giving him frees. And it'd be interesting to see, will it be Aaron or Diarmuid that sends over this. Aaron has the ball in his hand, but yeah,
he gives the nod.
Oh,
gives the nod to say you're taking
Oh yeah, gives the nod to Diarmuid. Again, as you said, I think if Diarmuid Burns is coming up to take a free, you give him the ball, regardless of who you are. Looking around the field, there's lots of interesting matchups there. Tom and Dermot coming up to take the free. Jordan Higgins has dropped back. Keane Lynch has gone back to centre back momentarily. Keane Fitz has moved into the middle. So they're all going into the centre back to make up for the loss of Dermot Burns, and this to restore Patrickswell's lead.
I suppose preparing for the long puck out that's invariably going to come. Burns goes through his own routine, much different from that of Aaron Gillan. And Burns, as someone pointed out after the All-Ireland final, he has really lowered the trajectory of those frees, just cut through the air no matter the wind or the conditions. He can arrow them through the sky, and he does that there and puts Patrickswell back in front. Lively game, lively second half as the ball flicked from one Patrickswell player to the other. It's Jordan Higgins who gathers it and sends it off to Mark Carmody, one of the more experienced men in terms of club action for the Well, as he finds Lynch, and Lynch's delivery, looked for the nutmeg, did Kevin O'Brien, but it's the other Kevin Downs who comes away with it, and Jordan Higgins seemed to line him up there for the shoulder of Peter Casey into Boylan. It's Conor Boylan, and his brother is among the substitutes and maybe carrying a knock, and there's a free out. Boylan, just tried something a little bit different there. Maybe just a case to make for plant the feet and take on your shot. He tried to take on a bit too much there. Yeah,
they're doing a bit of that in the Piarsaigh, in fairness to him. I don't know, has Peter got the ball in his hand this half, and it's hard to remember the last time he got the ball in his hand in general. But you mentioned there Conor's brother Jerome, another big loss to the Piarsaigh. Like, you're without Dave Dempsey, Will O'Donoghue, Jerome Boylan. Like, there's a lot of experience there. I see Alan Dempsey's doing water. I know he's with the Premier Intermediate team full time now, but a lot of experience missing there from the Piarsaigh, but still only down a point. And
yeah, we're set for a grandstand finish as Wayne Kearns come away, but he's done some good stuff, as there's protest from the men from the Well on the far side. They don't agree with John O'Halloran, nevertheless he's given the free. I think despite the weather, everyone is enjoying the fare on offer, and I've had a few texts from people further afield, with people watching in Canada, Dubai, and even some folk in Kerry watching. And we've a few in the commentary box here as well that got a late invite.
Yeah, I'm looking into the stands there, and you're seeing a couple of players involved with like Sadoun, Kilmallock, KP and Ahan that are out tomorrow. You know, they will be playing these boys up close and personal.
Yeah,
so
there's such great interest in the club scene, it's fair to say, as Ronan Lynch lines up another, this on his own 65. Lynch going through the routine, and Lynch sends that to the left and wide. Well, we weren't sure where Mungot would lie coming into this one. 4:15 to 10, Jack. They're now ahead of South Liberties, and look, we're obviously not seeing what's going on there, but that's a statement victory if it invariably comes to pass. That's big stuff for Mungert.
Huge, and look, they've quality in abundance. A lot of players coming through. I know Fintan Fitz is one there that got on the score sheet. It's his senior championship debut, but huge team, and I tipped them to finish in the top two, so good start from Mungert. Yeah,
long way to go, Jack, in your predictions there, as Mark Carmody arrows one in.
Long way to go in this game.
Yeah, long way to go in this game, all the same, as Mike Casey gets it, slips the bear in the square, as you like. He comes out with it. Good distribution to Mike Foley. There was shouts of steps against Casey. Ball breaks down. Chance for Breen. Is he going to try and flick it? Oh, well, it's just about dealt with by John Flynn, as
Jason Gillan
with a wild enough pull. And again, it's just so important to ever come up. So look at Aaron all the way back there. Does well. Gives it to Mark Carmody, and he arrows one across the field.
Foul attack.
And there's the free. Yeah, Cathal King is going to ask the referee what he did. I think it's pretty obvious to me anyway. He had one arm up on the shoulder and the other one up on the other shoulder, so brought the
big play there by
the veteran of the Patrickswell team down to the ground. Yeah, and Jack Kelleher is down with a bit of a knock as well. Neither side going to their bench just yet.
No, Jack Kelleher is one that has been fairly quiet so far in this game, but won the free there, a crucial free to win, and Jason and Aaron combining there to ensure the Pearson get in for a goal, because Adrian Marine looked like he was in, but good defending by the Glans, and John Flynn was back there as well.
Yeah, I think Jack Kelleher Jack Kelleher's race is run. Just about 6 minutes to go.
Coming in wearing a different jersey. He's wearing the first half jersey. It is Johnny McMahon.
Right, Johnny McMahon for Jack Kelleher with just about 6 minutes to go, in with the slip of paper.
a darker shade of blue, a more royal shade of blue there for Johnny.
Yeah. Also the fact it's dry as well. Of course.
Won't be for long. Although the weather seems to have.
It is a glorious day here all the same, Jack.
It is windy. It's not a gimme by any stretch of imagination for Aaron here, but goes through his routine as usual.
Back playing as a sweeper, if you like, a minute ago. Aaron Gillan sends it through the night sky and sends it over the bar. The umpires were just delaying ever so slightly, but he nails that one.
1-6 now for Aaron, and a 2-point advantage for Patrickswell again as we go into the last 5 minutes, Tom.
Yeah, 2 point feels like a big one, but Piarsaigh have shown powers of recovery all down the years. They're never beaten really until you get them inside in that dressing room, as Casey drinking one way onto his favoured left has to arrow one back. We're coming back for a free, and there's just a little flick on Casey, but Jason Gillan is trying to get his troops in order. That's going to be a very, very challenging angle for Ronan Lynch.
The way he strikes his frees, he fairly arrows them, so
yeah, he's going to.
I don't think wind will be a factor for Ronan, and he's a confident player as well. Went straight over, no pausing. Let's see, can he make the most of it?
Yeah, it's a chance now for Lynch.
Looking for his 7th point, 6.5.
He's been busy in the second half. Well, there were shouts of great score running, but it wasn't. It goes across the face of goal and wide, as now Jason Gillan
takes his time.
Yeah, suddenly has lost the ability to move quickly. But I'm sure he's looking for Big Brother as he arrows it straight through, but didn't get the connection because it goes straight to in a Piarsaigh man as Cian Fitzgerald comes up with it. Here's Cian Lynch. Lynch was the jersey held. Referee says play can continue as Will Hen is back there. Hen sends it long and direct. Breen and Casey in there, but Patrickswell through their full-back John Flynn, and John Flynn wins the free. John Flynn, if my memory serves, played much further up the field in recent years, didn't he? It was kind of a wing forward, maybe midfield even sometimes.
Definitely, he was on a hearty winning team with Peter, I'm going to say, in 16 in midfield, but he has moved back to field in recent years. He was in the corner
that's
bit,
right,
but it seems to be at full-back now, but I didn't think there was much there. I thought it was well played by Peter.
It's the old spare hand tackle, I suppose, isn't it? It went in from Peter Casey, and
he'd know all too well about using that. Limerick are masters of that craft, and long ball in by Dermot. Yeah, Dermot Burns sends it in. Aaron claims it in the sky, trying to get a bit of space now over the shoulder. Aaron Gillan, there it is. No, it's not. It's gone short. It looked from our position like it was going to carry. Jordan Higgins
gets it, but is upended, and legally so, as they go and search.
Another poor ball there from the Piarsaigh.
A little bit disappointing. Jordan Flynn, that looked like a throw to me, as Burns switches it across. Not the best pass from him, but his teammate Fitzgerald is going to get to it. Fitzgerald, the switch hand pass back to O'Brien, to the other O'Brien, as the hurley comes flying away as Kevin meets Kevin, and it's Aaron Gillan now. What can he do here? Jinx one way, Jinx the other, and decides to pop a pass off to Kirby. Kirby takes it into the tackle. Back to Cian Lynch. Lynch plants the feet and sends it straight over the bar.
Yeah, I spoke about Patrick Kirby, improving his end product, and he did it just there. Finds Cian Lynch in a bit of space. Lynch makes no mistake, and suddenly, Tom, 3-point game. 3-point
game. You're feeling the Piarsaigh need one of those goals that they, I wouldn't say became famous for, became accustomed to getting 2, 3, 4 in lots of championship games down the year. Of course, in Limerick and beyond, as they won so much, but looks like they're heading for a defeat unless they can come up with something here in the last 90 seconds or so, as Will Hen does well. Going to want to try and get onto his left, as goes back to Keith Dempsey. Dempsey from a tight angle. Keith Dempsey. It's a lovely score from Keith Dempsey. Quiet-ish game from him in terms of possessions and stuff like that, but he does well here to cut the gap back to 2.
I'd say go long, Jason, and keep it away from your own goal.
Yeah. Jason Gillan goes. Jordan Higgins is under it, but Emmett McAvoy does well. Cian Lynch without a hurley still makes a nuisance of himself. And Cian Fitzgerald back to Burns. Burns opens up the shoulders, sends it inside, and actually puts too much on it, as the ball trickles out for it. That's actually the first wide of the second half for Patrickswell, as Mike Casey gets the puck out and decides he's going to deliver direct down the middle. Oh, thought it was going to flick its way through. That's a nice little flick from Boylan. And out comes James Carrick. And Carrick, Hurley nearly joins us outside the fence as Casey gets it. Casey off the deck, back to Will Hen. Talks, looking for a score. Is he battled up? Well, he's given a free out. There's too many steps taken by Will Hen there.
And just slight touch away from Will there, you know, it was the difference in scoring maybe a point or a goal there, and that's what the 11 are dealing with. And huge pressure from Patrickswell and a brilliant turnover there. And I tell you one thing, Jason Gillan is going to take his time. We've a man down there. I think it's James Carrick did well over in the corner. Conor Boylan did equally well to dispossess him.
Yeah, but just to bring up to date, Ballyround 2-19, Monaghan 11. That's the latest we have. And Mungret St. Paul's 4-19. So Liberty's 13. Barry Duff with the latest one there for Mungret St. Paul. So
look like Mungret and Ballyround are in the clear anyway.
Yeah, we'll just try and find their score as well, as we have this little lull in action. John O'Halloran eager to get things going again.
We are into additional time as well, Tom, so it'll be interesting to see. What
does he allow? Yeah,
it's a bit wet for the linesman to putting up a scoreboard here, but you'd imagine there'd be 2 or 3 minutes at least. But I think Patrickswell, if they don't concede a goal, will have enough from here.
Burns gets it as far away from goal as he possibly can. Keane Lynch is in there. 3 Piarsaigh men after him. Is he out of grass? The ball is not.
A strong man to try and get out over the sideline there, Keane Lynch.
2 of them tried and failed. Has chance now. Will Hen flicks it ahead of himself.
Now this is one that's dangerous for Shane Dolan is running over.
Here he comes. Yeah, well they need something. Adair 310, Gary Spillane 110 for those interested, but we'll come straight back to the action here as Kevin Downs gathers.
Oh, gonna go dead.
That's gonna go dead. Dermot Burns gets a slap on the backside from Jason Gillan. He had the presence of mind to let that one go. It's gone to the left and wide, and maybe with that is Na Piarsaig's opportunity of rescuing this one.
Jason could nearly score from here if he had the wind.
If he had the wind, he sends it beyond the 45 towards his brother. Gillan battling for it. Can't get it first time. Can't kick it away from himself. But in there is Vince Harrington. There is the full-time whistle. And it's Patrickswell who are off the mark with a narrow enough win, but you must say the second half performance, they deserved it, Jack. 1 down at the break, came thundering into that. Really, their big men started stepping up, and Aaron Gillan got the goal. That really made the difference, even though the Piarsaigh fought back. But in fairness to Patrickswell, they found another gear and finished this one out strong. Jack, good start for them.
Yeah, the man in our camera was the overall difference in the game, as he was so often. You can keep him quiet for periods of the game, but when he gets the ball anywhere near goal, he's lethal. Created that goal for himself and finished it off. You mentioned Patrickswell's big players coming to it. Even John Flynn there at the end was brilliant. Patrick Kirby did a lot of good work, a lot of them. And I think for Na Piarsaigh, probably a bit aimless in their play in the second half. Wasn't the methodical, crisp Na Piarsaigh that we're used to seeing. And look, it's first day out, Tom. They're without Will, without the man that's captained them for years, without Dave Dempsey, without Jerome Boylan. There'd be no fear in Na Piarsaigh. But first blood for Patrickswell. They lay down the marker and they will be absolutely delighted tonight.
Yeah, well, that's it. Patrickswell winning out 215 to 116. This has been a Stream Sport production of this Limerick Senior Hurling Championship round 1 clash. Reminder, tomorrow from Bruff we will have another mouth-watering clash. That repeat of last year's county semi-final at the meeting of Kilmallock and Doon. Do tune in for that one. There's plenty of packages available for all 30 games, which will be streamed across the various grades and codes in Limerick in the next coming months. So do check those out and do subscribe, and you will not be disappointed. If tonight is anything to go by, we're in for certainly a superb senior championship. But from Tom Clancy and Jack Neville here in Clahan, thank you for joining us, and we'll chat to you again very, very soon. But he's under pressure, and his effort looks like, well, it's going to stay in play, such as the elements, as Adrian Breen gathers it. And Breen gathers it now. What can Breen do? He's going to switch it across to Peter Casey. Casey looking for an early goal, and there it is. Patrickswell, Dermot Burns taking a backward step, but opening up the shoulders, and only one result when Dermot Burns gets a free shot from there. Burns, the umpire's having a look, and the umpire's agreeing that one has gone between the posts, a long way from the full forward position, and he gives it to Keith Dempsey. Keith Dempsey, that has the legs, that has the accuracy, and Keith Dempsey.
I suppose the Piarsaigh are a team that are very like Limerick, and that they play the ball through the lines, and there won't be, high ball launched into the square. And Patrickswell will have to be, careful of that they can't leave boys in that much space. But they're in a goal here.
Chance here. Calvin Carroll pulls on it. Calvin Carroll, and it's gone into the back of the net.
Thoroughly deserving the award that I'd imagine he'll get.
And Gillan was a newcomer really to this team, I think, as he gives it into Peter Casey, the jink. Peter Casey, we've seen it so many times. He's not going to look for anyone but Peter Casey.
Why would you?
Peter Casey. Off the right, the umpires straight away. They don't even need. They have plenty of numbers. Kevin Down seems to be playing as a sweeper.
Probably did the right thing to get it to him. And
Peter Casey decides to pass this one off to Vince Harrington, and Vince Harrington, an assist now for the flick. Oh, a lovely little flick, hand pass inside. Referee allowing play to continue here, and that's gone over the bar.
Shannon obviously are sticking with it. I don't know, it's enforced by Will, but they've tried it.
Oh, what a take by Breen.
Well, I don't think he will, but he could.
He's lining up quite quickly, but easily enough strokes it over the bar. And another one
so far
is the ball into JJ Carey. Carey, just a little bit of hook on it, but still has the power, still has the trajectory. And
Glenn got a free.
That's it, as Ronan Lynch. Anyone underneath that is Cian Lynch. What's he going to do? Need I ask? He's going to put it straight, but they'll do something just to help the free taker. Change, it must be said. Out the back door to Downs. Is that going to turn? That is going to go.
Score.
Well, it's hotly disputed. Well, look to start like the Piarsaigh did in the first half, and it's Fitzgerald, Cian Fitzgerald. He turns that in lovely.
I suppose he's playing in midfield today, Tom, so license to go.
That's it. He goes with it, just floats it up there and straight over the bar. And
good break there by Mike Foley on Aaron Gillan. Obviously the
tricky stuff. Gillan kicking it ahead of himself, kicks it all the way through, but he's going to get it now. Gillan, what can he do here? Aaron Gillan low. Good save by Dowling. Gave him that side of the goal. Invited the shot across the face of it, and the ball is back to it's Tom O'Brien, and Tom O'Brien
since the 13th minute, I think.
Yeah, and Gillan does have one. I think it was the thing when he first came onto the Limerick scene. He didn't. Maybe he changed it since, but he actually didn't really have one. He said he used to just throw the ball down and throw it over the bar. Well, he's Ronan Lynch. That's going to go close, but it's going to just go inside. It's going to be a tie game if he fires this over. Yep. Indeed, he does.
3 minutes well, all outside. He's on 65, and
well, this one is more or less on his 65.
Yep,
and look at that. As well, Breen has it. Breen gives it back to Will Henn. And Henn on his favoured right side.
Take the helmet off. Get on again.
Lynch. Gillan, I should say. Gillan claims it in the air. He's going to want to get this onto his left. Well, he hand passes it along the turf. Gets it back. Aaron Gillan off the right. Top in. Aaron Gillan.
So, there won't be that many scores from here on in, but Ronan Lynch with a sideline.
I love that. Look at that. Yeah, Ronan Lynch. Well, without their leader in terms of Declan Hannon is, inside, puts it on to Hurley and has to spoon it off to JJ Carey. Carey, is he going to hunt a goal? JJ Carey, just sensibly enough, different from that of Aaron Gillan and Burns. As someone playing as a sweeper, if you like, a minute ago, Aaron Gillan sends it through the night sky to Kirby. Kirby takes it into the tackle. Back to Cian Lynch. Lynch plants the feet and going to want to try and get onto his left as goes back to Keith Dempsey. Dempsey from a tight angle. Keith Dempsey, it's a lovely way for himself, but in there is Vince Harrington. There is the full-time whistle, and it's Patrickswell who are off the mark with a narrow enough win, but you must say the second half performance, they deserved it, Jack. One down at the break, came thunder.